Hey there, gang. We're going to have some frank talk. Not that whenever I do talk to you, it's not pretty dang frank. But people are always asking me, should I move to Nashville? And this might piss off some people in Nashville, but those of us that have been here a long time and been involved in the industry probably know this is true. I usually say, no, don't move here, because you don't necessarily have to be here to have a career and be successful. I mean, with the internet and social media, record labels are gonna force you and ask you constantly to create content and post on social media anyway. So why can't you do that on your own? You don't need to be here. And also, the more involved you are with a label, the less money you will make in the beginning anyway. So if you have built up an audience in your region, not just your town or your city, but your region, let's say, then you probably can do pretty well. You could make a living, right? You're gonna have to work hard, but you can make a living. And you're gonna have to do all the things that a label asks you to do, but the money is yours. Now, once you've reached a certain level, sure, you're gonna need bigger forces to help you create more of your career than you could do on your own. However, there's another thing about Nashville we should talk about, and that is opinions. Everybody has one, and especially in the music industry. And just because Nashville's a music town and we've been doing this for 100 years, does not mean they're always right. I have a ton of friends here who I really respect. I also have a ton of people that I wouldn't save from a burning fire that I've met since I've got here. But I do have a lot of people that I respect that I don't agree with most of the time, because their entire being is built on something that's come before, something they believe in, something that's made them money, something that's making them money right now, this week, this month, this year, or just an image that they have of how things should be. They have opinions, and those opinions you could agree with or you could disagree with. And they're all different. That's the thing. I have someone I grew up with, like who lived around the corner from me, who's here in a position of, well, I don't know, let's say power, because, he can control your ability to make money, let's say. And he and I don't agree on a lot of things. I don't hate him for it. I know he's a good guy, but it's his perspective. It's his opinion. One of my best friends in town is super duper successful. I love the guy. But honestly, I think I disagree with him 75% of the time, because I just don't think that having a template and being a gatekeeper and having an idea that has worked for you before is going to work for you all the time. And to force other people into that mold, I think, personally, is wrong. So everyone's gonna have a different opinion. I swear, if you talk to 10 different people in power, in positions that are important and respected in this industry, you might get 10 different answers on what you do. Maybe you get a few of them who agree, but that's about it. Well, who's right? I don't know who's right. That's up to you to decide, but you don't need to be here for it. And just because someone has an opinion doesn't mean they're right. This is a very volatile business, and I think you have to have a very, very strong personality and a very, very tough conviction of who you are and where you want to go. Now, artistically, yes, there are a lot of times where collaboration and working with people who have been successful in the past will be helpful. but it shouldn't change who you are and ultimately completely alter your direction, unless that's what you want to do, because you could come to regret it. So that's why I tell people not to come here, because they maybe could do most of what they do where they are. And it's very crowded here, all right? It's like, you know, when Chris Stapleton was big, it's a great example. When Chris Stapleton got big, deservedly, all of a sudden, all these guys with long hair and beards and cowboy hats, the same type of hat, playing acoustic guitar and screaming, moved to town. We already had one, right? There's not room for more than one of those. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. You can be influenced by somebody else. You can be inspired by somebody else, but don't try to be somebody else. We already got one of those. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents.